Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to do an update on some of the budget and saving challenges that I've been working on. So just to give everyone a quick update, I did a $5 challenge and a $100 challenge, and so I keep the remnants of this in this binder here. So this is my Dooney & Bourke planner, and one of the things that I've been really trying to do this year is save some money. So if you've watched any of my videos before, you know this is where I keep my $2. I have about 10 of them here, so it's about $20. And so this is where I keep my $5 challenge, and I've been tracking the money for my $5 challenge, and I also recently started a $100 challenge, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But as of 12/15, my $5 challenge is at $3,045, and so I started this back in December 15th, 2021. So it was the last year, and I've been just keeping track of, you know, my $5 challenges and just making sure that I am, you know, being very judicious about, you know, my $5 challenge. So back in October, for example, this envelope, which is my back to school envelope, it was stuffed back in October 31st, so with that paycheck. So pretty much that is my $5 challenge. I have different categories as I go through these. So it's back to school, birthdays for $400, books $60, and that was completed back in March. So as I go through, for example, when I complete this, I add it to another envelope. So I just added, for example, you'll see this now says $10. So the books, the $5 that I would typically put in books, I now put in one of my other envelopes. So I'm just starting from first to last and just go through that way. So I have car maintenance, which is $1,500. I have approximately $210. So I'm far away from completing this challenge. But you see Christmas, clothes, date night, electrolysis, family fun, fitness, giving, going out, holiday, moving. We're in the middle of a reno. If you've seen any of my previous, my one reno video I put in. Pharmacies, completed. Pharmacies and planners been completed since May 31st. So I really was diligent. And since it's past 12/15, this is my 1-year update to show you guys where I am. So for example, takeout, and which we do a lot of apparently, and spending, they're both completed. And I keep this money in a Capital One high yield savings account. So as of right now, if I'm looking at where I am with my $5 challenge, I'm at $3,045, as I said earlier, and the goal for this $5 challenge, if I have to stuff everything, including vacation, is $13,230. So I'll see how far I'm get. I'm only about 20, is that 20%? Approximately 20% of the way, right? So that is that challenge. The second one is my 100 envelope challenge. And my 100 envelope challenge, I'm doing it a little bit different, because what I'm not doing is putting like 1, 2, all of that in there. What I am doing, however, is putting $100 bills in all of these envelopes. So I number them from 1 to, now I'm on the 26th one. And so I keep that information, not only just a physical manifestation of it, but I also, whoops, I also keep that information in this that you know is my black LV binder. And so that information is in this section right here. So it's 100 envelope challenge with $100 in each envelope. So I started this back in June. I got the inspiration from watching somebody on YouTube, and so I started this back in June. So Now 12/16, I'm at $2,600. And like I said, I keep this money in a Cap One account, which I note here. But the actual physical manifestation of this challenge, I use these brown envelopes, and I just numbered them all the way to 100, and I make note of which paycheck, side check I use for this challenge. All right, so the big thing I want to talk today about is my budget. So I've been tracking my budget since, again, December 15th of last year, and I literally write down every nickel, dime, etc. that I put into this thing. So if you look through, you would see that these fit this. It used to live in here, but because I didn't want to buy new ones, I just purchased some cloth and paper ones and just kept going. So I finished this back in, using these back in August 2026, August 26, 2020, and I just continued in here. Every single, even down to like $1 and even a few cents, I keep in here just to track to see where all of my money is going. So again, just tucked it in here because I could not squeeze any more in here. It was getting just too big and uncomfortable, and I wanted to just keep my wallet, as many of you, as you've seen in previous past. So this is where I pretty much keep most of everything. And these were made by someone I follow on YouTube, Ari Budgets. I watch her faithfully all the time. And so you'll see I have my taxes, my tax set aside for the year. I started with originally with doing 12 and 547 because I live in New York City, and I originally started it this way. However, I'm realizing with the amount of money I've made this year, I might need to bump it up to 25%. So I just started putting away 25% as of November. So this is what it looks like. And these are like the amounts that's sitting in the bank. So for example, this is $2,988.75. And then this one is up to $1,100.46. So this is pretty much this envelope. I have a few wish listings here, but I also, on the back of my wish list, I always try to remind myself that I'm looking to, you know, do assets instead of liabilities. So I try to keep a definition of each so that, you know, I have an idea of if I want to purchase something, it is because it's an asset value, not a liability value. Okay, so sidetrack aside, let's go into what this is. So my goal for next year is to save an emergency fund of $41,000. And so I'm starting to realize that how come I don't have $41,000? And so I decided I make enough money to have that amount. So I decided to figure out where all my money was going. So hence last December, I started trying to figure out, and I use these little cute tab on planned purchases, $1,500. I put them there. I tally up every, pretty much every mid-month. So twice a month, I try to figure out what my unplanned purchases. So if you see 12/15 to 12/31, 1/1 to 1/16, unplanned purchase $1,700, and so on. Just keep going. And sometimes I would do the categories, but I really started getting lazy about it. So I went through the entire year. So 12/16, I stopped, and I wanted to create this video. Today is December 18th, and so I wanted to create this video so keep myself honest about what I've been doing and what I've been spending. So unplanned purchase, 9/15, 2000, da da da. I went to the U.S. Open this year. I really wanted to see Carlos Alcaraz and Tiafoe. And so I took my son. So you see the cost of the tickets there. So that's an unplanned purchase. I also keep track of how I pay for them. C is cash, CC credit card, D is debit. So you'll see on the side of every single one of these, all of my purchases. I keep this really nice. I love those transparent flags from Cotton Paper. So I definitely do keep them. And I started to just do a tally of some of the purchases that I did. So back in October, I just decided to do a tally of how much I've been spending. So just to see where I was and just to get started when I was thinking about shooting this video. So it's all in here. I'm taking some of my Post-its off, but I really do try to diligently capture everything I spend money on. So my last one was 12/1 to 12/16, and we just bought Janet Jackson tickets, so that kind of blew up my budget again. So that is where all of it is living right now. So I'm going to close this up and set this aside, because then we get to this madness right here. So what I ended up doing, I ended up writing out all of the purchases that involved myself, my kids, takeout, and family, right? So these were like the big, all the categories that I felt like everything belonged in, and I wrote them all out. There's one more page here. Wrote it all out. So I have this big book, and I love it because, you know, it's like ledger style, and it's got the grid lines, so, you know, it keeps me organized. So there's a ton of like stuff in here, notes, things like that, but I'm not going to show you those. I'm showing you this. So all of these purchases were for me. So I have 2 rows of purchases here. My kids have these 2 rows of purchases. So just on this page, just on this one column, it was $6,336.73. This column is $8,251.88. This one for my children was, let me look at my notes here, was $4,980. This one was $3,111.74. So I put them like right at the bottom, but I also tracked them on these Post-it notes as I was going through each of the calculations. So again, takeout, these 3 columns here, $1,700, $1,500, $1,800. For family, family usually means like family vacation, movies, things like that, you know, where I spend money on all 4 of us. But my husband and I take turns with this piece right here. Again, self, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns of self, just purchases for me this entire year. And I mean like $3.99 all the way up to, let me see what my largest purchase on this page is. I don't even see a really big purchase. Oh wait, $3,494.77. So that is my biggest purchase on this page. And I mean, there are some purchases. That $3,494, I can't even remember what I spent money on for that. But these are all unplanned expenses that, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, I paid off all of my credit cards, so this is literally just money coming out of my pockets. And so when we talk about where all my money is going. I'm tracking it down here. This one is $10,453.62, just this column. This column is $4,400. This one is $5,500. This one is $3,500. This one is $2,800, $2,800, $4,700, $2,700. So I am just looking at self. Kids continued over here. And this column is $3,100. This column is $1,000. And so for kids, I had a total, I believe, I'll do it and I'll tell you in a minute. My kids column was $12,256.37. I have some other things down here, but don't mind that for now. For takeout, these columns continued from this page. These columns, this is $1,700, this is $13, and then an additional $200. My takeout is, for the year, I've spent $8,415 and some cents. That's a lot of money considering I budget about $700 a month for groceries. So I'm spending a lot on takeout. So I'm spending an additional $350 on takeout a month. Actually, no, even way more money than that. My apologies. I'm spending way more money than that. So I have to figure out how I'm doing that. And finally, self continued from these 2 columns here, these 8 columns here, and then these 2 columns and 1 little extra over here. So it's another $1,600 and another $3,300. So for self, for me personally, this is how much I spent on myself this year. And like a, L'Oreal commercial, I'm worth it. However, this is where my money is going. This is why I don't have anything saved. It says $57,000 on myself this year. So something has to give, especially if I want to save this money. So I'm looking to cut back in a couple of different places. Self, I'm looking to cut back at least half. So half of my self budget, at least half. I need to think about cutting back on self, about $28,000. And then I'd also like to cut back on eating out, at least half. So I'm thinking about cutting back by half, which is $4,200. So I'm still going to try to treat myself to things. However, again, the goal is to really be intentional this year about saving money, and I want to cut back on takeout by half. The family stuff is not going anywhere. $3,600. It's not a lot of money to spend when we're a family of 4 living in New York City. I'm not going to cut back anything for my kids. They have school stuff that happens. Things happen throughout the course of the year. So they're totally worth whatever money I spend as far as I'm concerned. So they're $12,000 for the year. Again, I think is not too bad considering we are growing up living in New York City. And then the takeout stuff, though, I'd like to cut back in half considering I do spend a lot of money on grocery. And since my husband's a great cook and so am I definitely want to make sure that we are maximize the stuff in our refrigerator first before we eat takeout. The problem is there's so many options for takeout here, so that's going to be a tough one. So I will keep you guys posted on my progress. Whoopsie. I'll keep you guys posted on my progress. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe and comment.